let's have a look at the grid then for race number 2 for the British Truck Racing Championship this weekend. This is based on the second fastest times in qualifying. Ryan Smith, number 1, will start on pole alongside number 69 David Jenkins in the MAN. Second row, number 7 Stuart Oliver and 89 Simon Reed. Row 3, 32 Jock Borthwick. A lot of damage from race 1. Good to see he's repaired the truck. Start alongside 46 Bradley Smith. Row 4, number 3 Stephen Powell. He's repaired as well. Starts alongside 14 John Bowler. On the 5th row, 92 Simon Faulkner, although I can see in the background there his truck moving forward. Has he had a problem, I wonder? Starts alongside number 12 Michael Oliver. Hopefully he'll get to start this race. Row 6, 68 Craig Reed and 41 Simon Cole. I didn't see him as the trucks came up to the grid, so we'll wait to see if Simon's there. And completing the Division 1 field, number 95 Ricky Collitz. Then we move back to Division 2. Craig Evans, number 10 on pole, alongside number 6 of John Powell. And number 5 Adam Bint, the winner of race 1, and 28 Gentleman Jim Bennett. 86 Tom O'Rourke, as explained, will start from the pit lane after his qualifying times were disallowed due to that infringement where he exceeded the 100-mile-an-hour speed limit. The speed recording device was not activated in his truck during qualifying. Ryan Smith looking for 2 wins out of 2. Scored 14 wins on his way to the title last year. David Jenkins alongside him. Stuart Oliver and Simon Reed on row 2. Jock Borthwick and Bradley Smith on the 3rd row. And Stephen Powell and John Bowler. Michael Oliver alone on row 5. We ride with Jock Borthwick as they come through clearways. The pace truck is in pit lane. Looking back from Simon Reed's truck as the revs begin to rise. Here we go. Up towards the red lights when they go out. Get ready to feel the thunder as the power comes on from these 1,000 horsepower engines. Here we go with race 2 of the weekend for the British Truck Racing Championship. Ryan Smith will take the lead as they go into Paddock Hill Bend for the first time. Stuart Oliver trying to get through on the inside there. He can't quite get alongside David Jenkins. We ride with Jock Borthwick alongside Bradley Smith. Looking back now from Simon Reed as they head up towards Druids for the first time. Will they all make it round Druids Hill Bend this time? Smith leads from Jenkins. Oliver side by side for 4th between Bradley Smith and Simon Reed. Reed moves through on the inside. We look back from Simon Reed. There's Bradley Smith behind us. Then it is Jock Borthwick, the Scotsman. Then Michael Oliver. He's got away well. Stephen Powell just behind him as they file their way down to Cooper Straight for the first time. It's called Cooper Straight. It isn't quite straight. Up towards the left at Surtees, the right of McLaren. Ryan Smith has the early lead from Jenkins, Oliver, Reed, Smith, Borthwick. Oliver Jr. is next in the order. Division 2 is being led by the look of it by John Powell. There's Paul Rivett. He's waiting for the right time to make his move from the back of the field. They complete the first lap then with Ryan Smith already over a second clear of David Jenkins at the front of the field. Over the line they go. Let's see where Tom O'Rourke can get up to around this opening lap. The tail of the field at the moment, I think. Not sure he comes through on this lap. Yes, he has. On board with Jock Borthwick, chasing Bradley Smith on the run up towards Druids. You can see the heavy roll caging in the cab of these trucks. Simon Reed has pulled out a gap over the 46 of Bradley Smith. They're just getting settled into this 15-minute race. The first 4 have pulled away slightly. 5th place is Bradley Smith, then Jock Borthwick, then it's Michael Oliver in his rather battered MAN after the contact earlier on. Seems to be a bit of a damage magnet over the last couple of seasons, unfortunately. And hang on, the red flag is coming out. What has happened? Oh, that's what's happened. It's Tom O'Rourke. He's in the gravel at Paddock Hill Bend. Quite a long way up Paddock Hill Bend towards Halewood Rise, so what has happened there? That'll need a tow from trackside recovery. Hopefully there's not too much damage there and they can quickly get the truck out of the gravel. Try and see what's happened there in a moment, I think. But the race is stopped again. Another truck in the gravel at Paddock Hill Bend. It's the unfortunate Tom O'Rourke. He's not having a happy weekend so far, sadly. See if we can see what's happened. Back of the field, coming down Paddock Hill Bend. He runs wide. Yeah, the truck just straightened up in the middle of the bend. I don't know whether something broke in the steering perhaps there. And into the gravel he goes. Great shame for the Scotsman. Let's try again then. Ryan Smith on pole, looking to make it 2 wins out of 2. This will be a 12-minute race now. This has happened in race 1. David Jenkins, number 69, alongside him. The TRP pace truck leading them round. Second row, Stuart Oliver, the 10 times champion, alongside 89, Simon Reed. Then we've got Jock Borthwick, who's done a considerable amount of repair work for his truck after that collision with Stephen Powell in race 1. Stephen Powell received a reprimand from the steward, incidentally, as was judged to be at fault for that collision, while Jock Borthwick also received a warning for an unsafe rejoin as he got going again in front of Tom O'Rourke in that first race. A little bit of disciplinary news update there. Fourth row of the grid, Stephen Powell and John Bowler, the Division 1 debutants. Michael Oliver's there, Craig Reed, Ricky Collins, no Simon Faulkner or Simon Cole. Then our 5 Division 2 trucks, headed by Craig Evans, looking for his first win in the category in his MAN. It's the Daimler Freightliner on pole. Such an aggressive looking machine, just like the Volvo behind the bonneted trucks. And Stuart Oliver. Those first 3 on the grid, 18 championships between them. Watch for Paul Rivette from the back. Adam Bintz ahead of him, going for 2 wins out of 2. Here we go, ready for 12 minutes of truck racing. Well done to the recovery teams there. Getting Tom O'Rourke back to the paddock. Hopefully we'll see him back out tomorrow. Smith and Jenkins lead them up towards the red lights. The power comes on and away they go. Quick start by Stuart Oliver. Watch the number 7. He could get past David Jenkins here in the second place. He won't get ahead of Ryan Smith. But I think Oliver's got the inside line. Yes, he's up into second place as they head down Paddock Hill Bend for the first time. 1 or 2 trucks running wide. We've got 1 into the gravel. That's Michael Oliver. John Bowler's run wide as well. Oliver keeps his foot in. He keeps it going at the back of the Division 1 group. Will they all get round Druids? Okay, Bradley Smith running wide in the 46 truck. It's Smith who leads from Oliver. Jenkins. Jock Borthwick is in 4th place. And it's Simon Reed, Stephen Powell, Bradley Smith. Next through is Craig Reed, then Bowler, Collett. Michael Oliver recovering from that off, missing the side panel you can see on the number 12 truck. As they start to sort themselves out around this Brands Hatch Indy circuit. We'll look back quickly to see who's leading Division 2. It's John Powell who's got away best in the DAF, number 6, ahead of Craig Evans and Adam Bintz. Oh, Michael Oliver's incident pack weekend continuing. I had a bad feeling he was going to get bogged down in the gravel there, but he kept it going. Ryan Smith will lead as they complete the first lap. Then he's already over a second clear of Stuart Oliver in 2nd place. Down into Paddock Hill Bend we ride with Jock Borthwick chasing now David Jenkins. Good start from Borthwick, up into 4th place ahead of Simon Reed. Through the roller coaster first part of the lap, through the dust and the bit of smoke that was kicked up last time through. Round Druids and then drop down again into the left-hander at Graham Hill Bend. Simon Reed putting Jock Borthwick under a little bit of pressure. Then it's Stephen Powell in the number 3 in 6th position, the local man. Bradley Smith has dropped back to 7th. But Ryan Smith already starting to put clear air between himself and Stuart Oliver in the GT Tyres Volvo in 2nd place. Craig Reed in behind Bradley Smith. Looking back to see the leader of Division 2 is still John Powell ahead of Craig Evans, Adam Bintz and Paul Rivette. Jim Bennett in the older Seddon Atkinson has already dropped away. It's good to have Gentleman Jim back in the championship this year. Certainly one of the friendliest teams in the paddock, the Team Bennett squad. Up the hill towards Druids, and Jock Borthwick a little bit wide there over the curve. He almost drops onto the gravel, holds it together, swings it in. Up on the inside there's Simon Reed, and he goes through, forces Jock Borthwick to go wide. It's a good move by Simon Reed. Good aggression from the Iveco pilot up into 4th position. Down to 5th goes Borthwick in the white and tartan liveried MAN. The colours of My Name's Doddy. Heard in the break between races all about the fundraising efforts going on this season for motor neurone disease. Campaign started by rugby legend Donny Weir. Ricky Collett staying ahead of Michael Oliver. Collett with a down on power engine this weekend. He's had a few engine problems, that truck, over the last couple of seasons. Had a nasty crash with it at Thruxton back in 2020. Oh, and say engine problems, a great flash of flame. Goodness me. Ricky Collett needs to get out of there. He slides it to a halt against the barrier. Well stopped, Ricky Collett. I hope that's truck is not going to burst into flames. Something blew up there. I hope that was just the turbo and not the engine going for a burden. Ricky Collett very much out of the race. Just as I said, having engine problems. Curse of the commentator there. Sorry, Ricky. I was saying he had a big accident at Thruxton back in 2020 when he rolled the truck over, having got onto the wet grass. And he's out of this one, and I hope that's not the end of his weekend. Hopefully he's not dropped any oil there either down the Sir Jack Brabham straights. Through go the leaders. Ryan Smith leads by over 3 seconds now ahead of Stuart Oliver, David Jenkins, Simon Reed up to 4th. Let's have a look again there as they came down the straight. Watch the back of Ricky Collett's truck here. Bang! Something went up in a big way there. Hopefully that's not the engine detonating, hoping it's just the turbo. Slid it onto the grass into retirement. Stuart Oliver staying ahead of David Jenkins. It's still John Powell leading Division 2. Adam Bint in 3rd place behind Craig Evans, looking for his double. Down the Cooper Straights, left of Surtees, right of McLaren. Many of the corners here at Brands Hatch named after great names from the world of motorsport in Britain and beyond. David Jenkins trying to chase down Stuart Oliver for 2nd place. The midfield quite spaced out now. Bradley Smith running wide. In fact, I think the red flag is out again. Yes, the red flag has come out, presumably to deal with Ricky Collett's truck. See if things are okay down there on the entry to paddock, and we'll wait to see what will happen with this race. We were not yet at half distance. There were around just over 7 minutes left on the clock, so whether there will be a restart or not, we'll have to wait and see. Race leader Ryan Smith had completed 4 laps. We'll have to await official news on what's going to happen here. Outcome trackside recovery again. Yes, because Ricky Collett, where that truck has stopped, would be in the firing line if anybody was to slide off to the inside of paddock. Marshall's likely wanting to check there's no risk of any fire there as well after that blow up for Ricky Collett. I hope that's not the end of his weekend. You can see where he stopped there, just on the entry to paddock on the inside against the barrier. See it again here. Watch the back of the yellow MAN. Boom. Big explosion. Ricky Collett instantly knew what had happened, and he steered the truck to an almost instant halt there. He's got the brakes locked on, as you can see, and just bumps the barrier as he brings it to a halt. That was good decisive driving there by Ricky Collett as he felt the explosion behind him as the either the turbo or the engine let go. There is the British truck racing veteran